निवासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते.
So he said, which is probably the most important thing he said in that speech. He said 1000 years of foreign rule in one way or the other. That is not the general consensus. हमारा foreign rule शुरू होता है 1757 में, according to the academics, according to general kids who just learn history in school. We know of foreign invasions only in 1757, right? Battle of Plassey. He says 1000 years का foreign rule था. वो foreign rule किसने किया है? That is hugely significant. This is the first time an Indian Prime Minister or an Indian mainstream politician is acknowledging that the Islamic invaders were foreign rulers and their descendants are therefore settler colonialists or settler colonizers. जो जोधा अकबर में वो जो line है where Ritik says that हम तो बाकी invaders के तरह नहीं है, हमने तो यहाँ सिर्फ लूटपाट करने के लिए नहीं आए, हम तो यहाँ रह गए. Dumbass Ashutosh Gawadiकर doesn't understand that's the literal definition of settler colonialism. There are different kinds of colonialism. There is exploitation colonialism where you take the resources and leave. And then there is settler colonialism, and there is colonialism of the mind, which is coloniality. तो हमारे Muslims है settler colonialists, except especially the Ashraf class, and that has never been acknowledged by any mainstream academic, never been spoken by any post-colonialism studies academic, nor any sociologist, which is why sociology needs to be defunded. These people fall in the exact category of settler colonialism, and more so, even if their argument is that तो क्या हुआ, after all तो है बेचारे minority, बेचारे 49% में है, or I am joking, it's about 30%, right? But even then, first of all, we need to argue that majority has never been the oppressor. Even if we say that Brahmins were going around killing all Shudras and torturing all Shudras, when were Brahmins the majority? When were British in the entire country of India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, when were British people, white-skinned British people the majority? Majority से oppression नहीं होता है, power structure से oppression होता है, ठीक है? But even if we concede that okay, sociologists are dumb, they must have thought that Muslims are in the minority, therefore they are not settler colonizers. But what about Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh? Places which were inherently Hindu or at least non-Muslim before the onset of Muslim invaders. वहाँ पे अगर वो देश Muslim majority हो जाए and वहाँ के Ashraf bloodline चलते रहे and they are in the structures of power, if that is not settler colonialism, what is? And that is what Narendra Modi said. 1000 years of foreign rule. This made me insanely happy. Next interesting thing that happened in that speech is that when he said that India is a land of diversity, etc., when he was selling our diversity, which is a common talking point, but most people don't mean it when they say it or don't say it when they're out of power. But a Sikh guy was the first to stand up and clap in the American parliament, okay? Then he quotes Vedas and says that we have these ancient scriptures called the Vedas and there are so many fascinating things written, and then he quotes them. I love that. How many people have heard about Vedas? How many people have heard about Vedas being so old? How many people even know that Hinduism is so old? How many people in the world or USA even know that we have such ancient scriptures which still survive today? How many in USA or how many even in India know that we have Vedas which are today even quoted while doing yagyas and all puja parts, and they are thousands and thousands of years old? Most people don't know it, at least not Bengalis. I have asked a lot of my Bengali friends, and when I bought my Bengali Rig Veda, a lot of people said that, oh, Rig Veda, yeah, I've heard of it. There are 4 Vedas or 3 Vedas, right? They can't remember how many Vedas are there and what is inside that. I've heard so much about it. I said that अरे पूजा का यज्ञ, ज्ञानाग्नि, अग्निदेव के यज्ञ में जो बोलते हैं वो सब है. And they said, you won't believe this sentence, what some of my friends have said. They said that what? Do those purohits actually say something, chant out something? I thought they just take some money and chant out random gibberish words and leave. That's the opinion of purohits we have in our society, at least in Bengal, because of our great Marxist sociologists whom we keep funding, and I think their funding needs to be stopped immediately. But so most Indians even don't know that we have Rig Veda in our day-to-day culture, even when we are celebrating pujas or just even if for taking selfies. There is a puja going on, reading out from a text which is 6,000 to 7,000 years old. So our Prime Minister quoting those scriptures inside that parliament is very significant and very awesome. The next sixer he hits. First he mentions Vedas, then quotes Vedas, then talks about Brahmavadinis. He says that so many thousands of years back we had female rishis who wrote who contributed to the collection of Vedas. How many know that? How many in India know that? Most people don't know that. Most academics don't know that, right? All the while they are talking about Brahmanical patriarchy, how Hinduism is patriarchal, how Vedic civilization is patriarchal, but they have never heard of women like Lopamudra, Garge, Maitreyi. They are female rishis who have composed some of the verses in the Vedas. And Narendra Modi said that in the US Parliament. That needs to be appreciated as much as possible. Okay, then one sentence he said, which is an absolutely brilliant job. Whoever wrote his speech, they need to be worshipped. He said a sentence that we build capabilities, not dependencies. एक साथ में यूएसए और चाइना दोनों को सरकास्टिकली बोल दिया यूएसए के पार्लियामेंट में बैठ के when you guys help other people you all create dependencies. When we help other people with vaccines or rescue missions during Turkey etc. we create capabilities. What a great line, huh? We build capabilities, not dependencies. Another interesting thing he said in that address is that terrorism takes new shapes every day and we must fight all of them. This was needed, guys. That terrorism is very much still the problem. It's not like Indian liberals and American liberals think that the biggest problem we have today in society is patriarchy or capitalism, right? And again, you have to notice all the Hollywood scripts that in the last few years, what has Hollywood shown? There is no significant evil, bad country, etc. Only evil is patriarchy. Only evil is capitalism. And especially if it's a female heroine, okay, if it's a female lead, तब तो हो गया. तब खराब आदमी छोड़ो. तो each and every step is her victory against patriarchy. There's no woman fighting against a bad country or a bad thing. It's all about patriarchy. So it's good that Narendra Modi reminded people that no, terrorism is still the biggest problem. I love that.
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी